Hey Internet, it's RJ. Welcome back. Thanks for tuning into the show today. Now, today is Sunday, so you know what that means. We're going around the net with all the news you can use in the week that was in credit and finance. And we've got a lot on the docket for today. We have Visa rethinking their product roadmap, trying to revolutionize the payment network. We have the CFPB is going to survive to live another day, which is a good thing. And of course, we'll have some more closing thoughts on, you will, on the Strata premiere we talked about last week. And of course, my approval status, spoiler alert, I got denied. So let's get into it. Of course, if that sounds interesting to you, go ahead, press the subscribe button, and let's get to work. Now, we will lead off with Wise. Many of you from the other channel, Run on the Bank, where we talk about bank promotions, will know Wise very, very well. Wise is like a money transferring services that, was really made, I think, to send money between currencies like USD to pounds or something like that. But it also works to send, USD to USD, and it triggers direct deposits more often than not. Direct deposit generally being something coming from your employer. So last year, when I didn't have a real job, I would use Wise. And that's in the news because Wise has sent out notice that they are increasing their fees. So you may have gotten this already, but, again, if you follow the second channel, this will pertain to you. And if you don't, well, why not? But here you have it. The two that you'll care about, really, ACH transfers sent from Wise to an external U.S. bank account is increasing from 39 cents to $1.13. That's if you keep money with Wise, which I generally don't do. There's nothing wrong with it. It's just getting more expensive. And then sending via direct ACH, so that's like sending from your Chase account. Wise is the middleman, and then sending to Bank of America if you wanted to hit the intro offer. That's going up from 0.13% to 0.28%. So not the worst increase we've ever seen. Again, there are other increases. Those are just the ones most of us are going to care about. It's still probably the most effective way to hit a direct deposit if you don't want to play the guessing game or look around for a bunch of data points. So just be aware of that. But again, I don't know of a better option. Now, in the news as well is our friends, the CFPB, Consumer Financial Protection Bureau. Of no surprise to anyone, bankers have complained a great deal over the years about the CFPB. And they went to the Supreme Court, and the argument, I'm kind of summarizing here, but it was more or less, if you don't know, the CFPB came out in 2013 as far as like the Dodd-Frank deal. We've done full videos on it, but they draw their funding, instead of like from getting funding from Congress, they draw their funding straight from like the Federal Reserve. So it's not like an unlimited budget, but compared to everyone else, it's kind of unlimited budget. And so bankers have, felt a certain way about this. So they went to the Supreme Court. Supreme Court ruled in favor that the CFPB continues to exist and has their normal funding source. So, quick excerpt from the decision. It was a 7-2 decision. Authored by Mr. Clarence Thomas. It's so great that he could take time from traveling on his friends' yachts to weigh in and do his job, but hey, who are we to judge? I just don't have any friends with yachts. Unless any of you guys do, then let me know. But anyways, for most federal agencies, Congress provides funding on an annual basis. This annual process forces them to regularly implore Congress to fund their operations for next year. Consumer Financial Protection Bureau is different. As we said, the Bureau does not have to petition for funds each year. Instead, Congress authorized the Bureau to draw from the Federal Reserve System the amount its director deems reasonably necessary to carry out the Bureau's duties, subject only to an inflation-adjusted cap. Thomas wrote, so in this case, we must decide the narrow question whether the funding mechanism is valid or not. He said it is, so they will continue to do that. Now, I think I'm a little bit of a unique position here to speak on this one. I've worked in banking for many years, and I've been a customer of banks for even longer. And, in a bank, I can tell you that I've never had, direct dealings with the CFPB. I'm not nearly that important. But I remember when auditors show up, they get, a giant war room or a floor sometimes. You print those giant, like how your biology binder as a kid had, the 2-inch 3-ring binders. You print all that material off for them. I mean, it might be digital now, but I am older now. Anyhow, they come through and they look at everything. And, there is definitely a feeling that, one, you do have almost an unlimited budget because, again, what is reasonable or what is necessary is up to the director, one guy. And there's a feeling that, if your job is to look for things and find things and also partly justify your unlimited budget, well, you're going to find stuff. I'm not telling you it's right or wrong. I'm simply telling you the feeling some bankers have about this when these audits come in. So I can understand the complaint. Now, on the other side, we've done a whole video here one, how the CFPB works, but I also did a long video about like my CFPB claim to get like $1,500 from GoTo Bank and Green Dot Bank, which is the bank behind GoTo, in referral money. And, it came in handy because sometimes you're not going to get far without the CFPB's help. So I do overall think they do more good than harm. Could we use a little more transparency in checks, on the audit side perhaps, but overall I think this is decent and we should have them around, given, not that banks are evil people, because the bank is, a company is nothing more than just documents filed with the state or the government, but it's people, right? And you're not stronger than those people, so they do a good job. So anyways, there is that. Now on to someone else trying to do a good job is BILT Rewards and Alaska Airlines. So we talked about this a while back, but the full press release is out. You are now able to earn Alaska Air Miles through BILT Rewards, and you can use by basically using your Alaska card, the personal card, to pay your rent through BILT Rewards. So again, we teased that when they added them as a transfer partner, but now the details are out. So the memo that I got, which I know some of you guys would just love how I read memos, but I just find it so hard to get excited behind marketing material. And I worked in marketing for 2 years at a bank. So beginning May 15th, that's already happened by the time you're watching this, all Alaska Airlines Visa Signature card holders will be able to pay their rent through BILT and earn 3x Alaska miles per dollar on rent. Card holders will also be able to earn bonus BILT points when using their linked card on neighborhood spend through BILT dining, Lyft rides, and BILT's fitness partnerships. How, you may ask? Well, Alaska cardholders will need to enroll in BILT Rewards and link their Visa Signature card to their BILT account. I'm sure you can probably handle that yourself. It's also important to know there is a 3% fee for Alaska Visa Signature cardholders to pay their rent with their card, and 3x miles will be earned on the first $50,000 of annual rent by calendar year. They will continue to earn 1x miles after that. So, of course, the benefit applies only to the Alaska Airlines personal Visa Signature card. Existing BILT members who will link an Alaska Visa Signature card to their BILT account will be served. Again, there's the page down below. I didn't need to read all that. So there you go. Overall, I think it's a fine promotion. Getting hit with the processing fee does suck. I looked it up online or on the Points Guy before, because the Points Guy, in between pitching Sapphire Preferreds all day long, can still be somewhat helpful. And they had 1.8 cents, give or take, for Alaska miles. But people do get creative for Alaska miles, so it's entirely possible that 3% fee is more than worth it. Optimal strategy would be to go get a brand new Alaska card, hit the offer through paying rent. I have no links for Alaska cards. I have one for BILT Rewards if you want it, the card, but I don't think you need to have a BILT Rewards card for this, and you can just sign up for BILT, like the service, and do that. So overall, I think it's a nice addition, a nice tie-in. Again, the processing fee kind of hurts. They could have helped you out a little bit with that, but overall, I think it's good. So let me know how you use the Alaska miles down below. Now, another interesting story that came up is Visa. So again, Visa, one of the major payment networks, their roadmap of sorts came out for what they want to do to upgrade their payment network and their cards, and there's a lot of interesting things on here. So again, let's take a look at this, see what they have in the works for the future of the payment network. So there's a few things here. And the first one is the one that's probably the most interesting to me, but it's linking one card to multiple accounts. So the biggest change coming to Americans will be the ability for banks to issue one physical payment card that will be connected to multiple bank accounts. That means no more carrying, for example, a Bank of America or Chase debit card, as well as their respective credit cards, in a physical wallet, as you would have guessed. What else did it say? Americans will be able to set criteria with their banks, such as having all purchases below $100 or within a certain merchant apply to the debit card, while other purchases go on to the credit card. 16-digit account numbers. As you know, account numbers are 16 digits. Visa executives, this is a quote they gave to ABC News, sees a future where banks will issue cards with a 16-digit account number isn't even there. Kind of like the Apple card. Like, you can get one if you need to plug it in online or something, but the cards don't even have numbers on them at all. Tap to pay, which is another interesting one. You'd be able to actually add your credit card to your mobile wallet by tapping it against your phone. They both have NFC. I could see how that would work. And they also say biometrics, biometrics to approve transactions, like how Face ID, Touch ID on iPhones or whatever you Android people are using. So that's kind of their roadmap. There wasn't really like a date or anything of when they expect to see these features. This is very interesting. I have no doubt that they could do most of these, but I think there's probably a lot more that goes into it than you think. let's just say they could do them all. I think they're saying like, hey, Chase, you could have one card issued by Chase and that would have all your Chase cards on it, which is the dream. That's what Curve tried to do. Didn't really take off too well over here, but they, more, I think over across the pond, I think they were a little bit more popular. But they never got Visa on board. I think they were just MasterCard. Of course, Amex didn't join. So that could potentially be why Visa had no interest. Like, we'll just do it ourselves. It sounds like they also might be building a user interface for it as well, because that's the biggest thing, right? I don't think they're thinking of people like us that have, I have 5 Freedom cards right now, right? So if you've got one card, how do I specify when to use which one? Like that, I wouldn't, for us, I would never expect their solution to come out and perfectly solve my world, so we're such fringe customers, right? But you could probably get creative with it. And so if they're building the user interface for that, I think that sounds amazing. I think there's a lot more that goes into it, because it's not only one, do they have to build it, then the banks have to say, okay, I'm going to participate in it, which really means it's got to go through risk review, it's got to go through testing, approval, all that good stuff. So I do think it'll be quite some time before we actually see this like deployed, in the real world where we can use it. I don't think it's going to be like, hey, bank, you get one card, period. Just be one card per bank, which would be fascinating. The other ones, I can definitely see being able to tap the card to if you pull up the wallet app, and they both have NFC, that would be helpful. I mean, I don't think you're going to get around like the block of terms and conditions where you sign your life away and have to agree. They're still going to have their own protections, and that's kind of what I mean. Like, that's the part that I think will probably take longer, is banks, risk management, legal teams signing off, creating the appropriate documentations so that none of this is the bank's fault. That probably will take a while. The biometric piece, that's probably, more of updating the POS systems, I would think. It'd be interesting to see how people get on with, giving someone else your biometrics and everything. So overall, I like the roadmap. I think it helps in a time where, all the payment networks have been trying to hike the fees. I don't really have a problem hiking fees, but, give us something for it. And like, this sounds like if they do it, that would give us something for it. And then it's also interesting, well, this is what they're doing. Well, what is MasterCard and American Express going to do? MasterCard would be the next one up. Discover and American Express, they're kind of just doing their own thing anyway. So anyways, that is their roadmap. Let me know what you think about it. I am excited to see if they can bring the one card dream, because I'm running out of slots in my big wallet. So just having one of each would be fantastic. But again, I don't think it'll be some gold solution for people with massive wallets of cards, but you never know, could still work. Now, last week was spent heavily talking about the Citi Strata Premier. It came out, the card actually was set to launch last Thursday. It turns out they published it Sunday, the same day the show came out. Of course, this show is taped in advance, so it wasn't, there's some things to add and go back on. I thought it was not a big enough change, so we could just talk about it again. I'll put the card on screen for you. And the thing of note is, again, it's still good cards based off the Citi Premier. It's just a copy and paste. That's what the title of the last video was, actually. They did add the travel insurances. Is it like the level of like a Chase? No, but I think you've got like your trip delay, cancellation, baggage stuff. They have like master rental coverage. It's not primary CDW, but for Citi, it's pretty good that they added those. I didn't have listed that 10x points on the hotel rental, the hotels rentals, car rentals, and attractions booked through the portal. And I said we're gonna do a bonus video on the second channel focused on this bank promotion. I think that's where the extra $50 of the intro offer went, because the highest intro offer on the Premier is $800 that we saw. This is $750. I think they pulled 50 of it to make up for that. That's clearly a direct answer to Chase giving 5x back on all their cards to the portal. So do I care about it? No, it does make it technically competitive in the space though, so I see why they would do it. Again, I stand by it. Citi Premier was a good card, an underrated card, and the Citi Strata Premier is also a good card. You can go back in the archives, and I've said for a long time that I think Citi is the greatest challenger to Chase. I've softened on that a little bit because of what Wells Fargo's done, and as you guys know, I'm very high on the autograph Journey card and the regular autograph. So, but I think Citi is still in the mix, and this shows I still like this better than Citi. Sure, better than Chase's Sapphire card. Sure, the hotel credit still could be better. Like, that's the one thing I was hoping they would rework. It's not as good. Autograph Journey, if you had just booked directly. Chase, book through the portal, easier. This one, not as simple to use as you would hope, but still doable. And bringing the travel insurances do help. Now, I did apply, on Sunday, and I was instantly denied. They didn't send the letter yet at the time of taping. I imagine it's too many inquiries. I think I've got like 9 new cards this year, and it's like, what? I'm taping this. It's like May 18th, so yeah, I can see why they would deny me. But we still have some folks get approved, and again, we'll do a full bank promotion video on it on Run on the Bank very soon. If you want all the details, probably the following week. We'll see what the schedule is, but we'll get one out there. Overall, I do think it's now worth going back and comparing the trifectas again. I've just been waiting because, again, Wells Fargo still owes us another card, we believe, and Citi still owes us another card as well. So I know I'm kind of just waiting until they come out and we have the full offerings from each one before we line them up together, so we don't have to do the same thing twice, really, or I could just get 2 videos out of it, I guess. But anyways, overall, the last thought I had on this was it's either Citi has something else planned that we don't yet know. They did refresh their travel portal a while back. Now they're rebranding the cards. But, it's either, hey, I just wanted to tell customers I had a new card, but the average person doesn't care. So I don't know if it's really worth spending the money on that to rebrand. Or, they have something else planned. I'm going to guess they probably have something else planned. Because if not, I don't know what doing a copy-paste job of the Premier to the Strata Premier really does. Again, yes, you can tell everyone, put up posters and banners, we have a brand new card. Does the average person care, though? I don't know. I don't think so. There had to be a better way, better use of time. So I'm going to guess they have something else planned. What it is, I don't know. I could be wrong going fishing. You let me know down below if you think they have anything else planned, aside from the Strata Elite, because we did see, again, the travel portal. It just makes me think there has to be something else. Because if there's nothing else, then what was really the point? I guess to unify the naming lines, and everyone likes that Sapphire or Autograph, Venture, Strata, sure. But I don't know. I feel like there should be a little bit more. But maybe that's always my argument. Yep, Citi, very close to being the best. Will they do that one more thing, so to speak, to become the best, or will they just leave it at this? I hope they do the one more thing. I don't know what the one more thing would be. Let me know, but I don't think they actually will. So I don't even know what this last segment was about. Anyways, that was my final thoughts on Citi. Again, look out for the bank promotion video on the other channel. I'm, of course, asking them to do it for the news for this week. So, of course, if you liked it, drop me a thumbs up down below. If you found it particularly interesting, consider subscribing to the channel. We're posting content just like this every single week. And, of course, right back every Sunday with all the news you can use in the week that was in credit and finance. And, of course, every single day over on ProfitableContent.com. That's the channel's blog. We have the latest news stories just like this. We have plenty of bank promotions, even one from Citi if you want to double them up, and Wells Fargo while you're at it. And, of course, we have credit card offers. Nothing from Citi anymore. They took all their links, but we've still got the Sapphire elevated offers. We've got Amex. We've got Capital One. Something for everyone, so definitely go check that out. Anyways, guys, that's going to do it for this one. As always, thank you so much for watching. We'll talk to you very soon this week.